Okay, so let's talk about filters. Firstly, what are they? Filters are designed for different reasons, and generally there are three types of filters: ND filters, polarizers, and UV filters. ND, or neutral density filters, are designed for the primary aim of helping eliminate the amount of light that enters your camera. Think of them a bit like sunglasses for your camera. For example, if you wanted to get a really good background blur effect, you'll be shooting with a low aperture. The ND filter will remove light coming into the lens whilst keeping the background blur. This example here, you can see that without the ND filter, my image is very overexposed, whereas if I put the ND filter over, the settings remain the same, but the amount of light that comes into the camera drops, meaning I can still get the look that I want. These are especially handy when you are shooting on bright days but you want to keep an eye on your exposure, as a low aperture will help blur the background and give distance between your subject and the background itself. You can buy variable ND filters and standard ND filters. Generally, I would recommend going for variable filters, as these allow you to increase and decrease the intensity of the filter by simply twisting it. These are ideal if you're out shooting and need to change the balance of light quickly and effectively. I would highly recommend buying step-down rings if you are buying ND filters, because this means you can buy an ND filter for your biggest lens and gradually screw on different sized rings to step down the size to fit your smallest lens. Now, these rings are super cheap and super invaluable, because then you will only need one ND filter and not a single ND filter for each lens. Next, we have UV filters. A UV filter also blocks UV light as it enters the lens, kinda like sun cream for your camera. Some old photography films were very sensitive to UV light, so if you didn't use a UV filter, you would end up with a blue haze in your photos or film. This was especially common if you were shooting somewhere that had a lot of UV light entering, like on a really sunny day or at a high altitude. Generally, I wouldn't use them for this purpose, as an ND filter does the same thing, but they are great to keep on your lens as an extra protective layer in case you drop it. For example, if you drop a £1,000 lens, it's much easier on the wallet to buy a new £15 UV filter than it is to buy a new £1,000 lens. These are widely available on the likes of Amazon or eBay. Finally, we have polarizers. These are similar to ND filters in the sense of them being like sunglasses for your lens, however they are primarily aimed at removing glare from things such as water. Any light that is reflected off a non-metallic object becomes polarized. This is why you get bright glares in puddles, lakes, trees or other things. Adding a polarizing filter will remove this glare. They're also very good at changing the colours of things such as the sky. With a polarizer on, you will notice richer colours in the sky. Again, these are pretty cheap on the likes of Amazon, but I would definitely recommend having one in your camera bag just in case. For now, keep practicing, keep shooting, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.